Okay. Sige. Okay, so let's continue class yung ating discussion dito. So medyo matagal tayo hindi nakamit, no? So dito na tayo ngayon sa okay, criminal law. Okay, book 2 natin class. So kung titingnan niyo, ito yung bagong TOS, ito yung gagamitin sa
Lang
August
ay no, ay
2024.
umuin pa ba ko
Paki-off
di na lang.
ano, joke lang.
Sige ko.
Make sure class naka-off yung inyong microphone para hindi maka ano sa iba, hindi maka distract sa iba nating participants. Okay, so again, ang criminal book to natin, so maganda ngayon kasi naka-specific na ang mga crimes na dapat nang ninyong alamin. So, di ba? So, isa-isahin natin dito. Okay, una, analyze the elements of crimes against person. So, sa crimes against person, specifically, nakaspecific na kung ano lang dapat yung aralin. So, dapat alam nyo yung kaibahan ni murder, homicide, parricide, infanticide, rape, physical injuries, and illegal discharge of firearms. So yan yung mga kailangan yung malaman dito, class, under the crimes against person. So again, we have the murder, homicide, parricide, infanticide, rape, physical injuries, and illegal discharge of firearms. That is under the Title 8 or the crimes against person. Then sa 4.2 naman, differentiate the crimes against property. Okay, sa against property naman dapat alam nyo yung kaibahan ni theft kay robbery. Si brigandage naman o yung tinatawag natin na highway robbery. We have estafa, malicious mischief, and crimes against personal liberty. We have the kidnapping. Ano kaibahan ni kidnapping? Kay serious illegal detention, unlawful arrest, yung mga grave threats and light threats natin, and of course, grave coercion and light coercion. Then apply the elements of other felonies, yung piracy natin, thus, arbitrary detention, violation of domicile. We have the assault, alarmment scandal, infidelity of the custody of prisoners, grave scandal, and bribery. So compare the crimes against honor, specifically the slander, and the slander by deed and intriguing against honor, and crimes against chastity naman, concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, and including the bigamy. Then recall the punishable acts under the following special penal laws, yung human trafficking natin, terrorism. Then we have the hazing, and of course the Safe Space Act. So that is the TOS class under the book 2. So madali lang yung buhay ninyo, di ba? Kung tinignan nyo, ang dali lang. So we will focus more on this naka-specific na crimes na dapat ninyong i-master sa board exam. So wag na kayong ano. So of course, kahit wala sa TOS natin, pasadahan na rin natin yon yung mga, halimbawa, wala namang nabanggit na treason dyan. Okay, wait lang class. Okay, so biglang nawala yung ano natin, yung audio, yung audio yung ating discussion. Okay, so again, ulitin natin. So ito yung ano natin na class, ito yung TOS natin under the Criminal Law Book 2. So nakita na niyo yung changes niya last board exam or last season. So very complicated siya. Sa ngayon, very specific na kung ano yung dapat yung malaman, ano lang yung dapat yung alamin. So dapat, of course, dapat alam mo yung kaibahan ni murder, homicide, parricide, infanticide, rape, and so on. So that is the different types or yung tinatawag natin class na sa book to natin. So isa-isahin natin dito. So mamaya, para mas malaman ninyo. Narinig ba? Narinig ang audio natin? Narinig niyo? Paki-confirm muna, baka nawala ako. Okay.
Oh, sir, yes.
Sige, sige. Okay, so nakita niyo class na ba? Ang ganda ng TOS natin. So, dapat yun yung mga pinaka-focus ninyo sa board exam. Okay, so ito yung book to natin. So, elements. Then, we will proceed now on the next slide. Okay, dito tayo. So, of course, meron tayong tinatawag na 14 titles of the revised penal code book to natin. So, again, 14 na. So, meron tayong acronym dito. Sundan niyo ako kahit nandyan kayo sa online. So we have the 14 titles. So meron tayong acronym na sunod-sunod dito. So we have na O, Po, P. We have O, Pom, Po. Then 3P. Sorry. Cha, Sib, Hokya. Okay, so isa-isa natin class para mas mabilis ang buhay ninyo. So pag sinabi natin na, okay, that is yung title 1 natin, that is National Security and Law of Nations. Yung FU naman, that is Fundamental Laws of the State. Yung PO naman, that is Public Order. Yung PI, that is Public Interest. Yung letter O, that is relative to opium and other prohibited drugs. Yung PUM, that is Public Morals. Yung PO, that is Public Officers. Yung 3P, magkasunod-sunod yung 3P class. Una dyan, we have the person. Then Title 9, against personal security and liberty. And Title 10, that is crimes against property. Yung CHA naman, that is crimes against chastity. Yung CIV, yung CIV, that is civil status of person. Yung HO, yung HO, that is crimes against honor. And yung QA naman, that is the quasi-offenses. Okay, again, ulitin natin. Ang 14 titles natin, class, para ma-identify ninyo pagdating sa board exam. Halimbawa, if I-identify sa inyo anong title na belong si homicide and murder. Saan na belong siya, class? Anong title? Anong title si homicide and murder pag pina-identify sa inyo pagdating sa board exam? Si homicide and murder. So saan siya na-belong? Saan siya na-belong? Si homicide and murder kapag pina-identify. Okay, crimes against person. Very good. So that's why very important na alam nyo yung 14 titles of the Revised Penal Code Book 2 natin. So again, ulitin ko. We have na, Pupupi, o Pompo, 3P sa Chibhokya. So yung na, that is the National Security and Law of Nations. Yung FU, that is Fundamental Laws of the State. Yung PO, Public Order. PI naman, public interest. Yung O, relative to opium and other prohibited drugs. Yung PUM, that is public morals. Yung PO, that is public officers. Yung 3P naman, we have the person, personal security and liberty, and of course, the property. Yung CHA, that is chastity. Yung CIV, that is civil status of person. Yung HO naman, honor, and QA is the quasi-offenses. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo? Nasundan ba? Na-memorize na to or hindi pa? Hindi nyo pa na-memorize? Okay, sige. So kung, very good, na-memorize na. Sige, kung sa mga previous ko na video, no, ay na lecture, no. So, of course, ano nyo lang, i-improve nyo, dapat na-master nyo yung 14 titles natin palagi. Then, katulad yung sa ating procedure and evidence, di ba, may na-present tayo dito. So, dito sa book to, dapat hindi nyo kalimutan. So, yung 14 titles natin. Tandaan nyo dito, sa book to natin, class, yung Title 5, yung relative to opium and other prohibited drugs that is already repealed. So, ang babasahin nyo na yan ngayon, class, yung 9165 natin. Okay, the 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002. So, na yun yung magiging sagot natin or yan yung magiging, ano na ninyo, yan ang magiging babasahin ninyo. Pero of course, kasali pa rin yan sa title or 14 titles ng revised penal code natin. So again, Napupupi o Pumpo 3P sa Chibhokya, the 14 titles of the revised penal code book 2. Okay, okay na ba? Okay na?
Yes, coach.
Okay, sige, next. And of course, yung qua pala, quasi-offenses. Okay, quasi-offenses. So again, yan yung book 2 natin. So 14 titles of the book 2 natin. So tandaan niyo class na meron tayong tinatawag na, wait lang, bakit iba itong naano natin? Si ano na natin, Diana? I-skip muna natin yan. Okay, so dito yung tinatawag natin class na other term ng ating mga titles dito. So yung National Security and Law of Nations, tinatawag natin yan na international or war crimes. Okay? So ano ba yung na-remember nyo dito class na nabilong sa Title 1 which is kinoconsidered natin as a war crime? Sige. Ano ba yung kinoconsider natin dito na ano? Ilagay sa comment section.
Treason, sir.
Okay, very good. That is treason. Okay, ang treason is a war crime. So that's why na-belong siya dyan, di ba? Kaya tinawag siya na tinawag siya na war crime. Kasi at of course minsan tinatawag rin siya na international crime. Okay, so dito naman class sa fundamental laws of the state, yung Title 2 natin. Ano yung na-remember nyo bakit ang Title 2 tinatawag natin yan na constitutional or national crimes? Okay, ano yung na-remember ninyo?
Example sa rebellion.
Okay, hindi, fundamental laws of the state. Okay. Sino may idea pag sabi natin fundamental laws of the state? Okay, so ano? What are the example? Okay, so no person shall be deprived of his liberty. Okay, yung mga detention, di ba? So papasok yan doon sa fundamental laws of the state. How about dito sa public order class? Ano yung example dito sa public order kaya tinawag siya na social order crime? Sige. What are the example? Okay, so ayan. Ano yung example ng public order or the social order crime? Okay, so we have, okay, rebellion is the best example for that. Yung public order crime natin, tama. How about naman class, yung anong na-remember nyo na crime under the public interest? Kaya tinatawag natin yan minsan na welfare crimes. Okay, so ano yon? Okay, so pwedeng forgery and so on. How about relative to opium? Of course, ang relative to opium, tinatawag natin yan na social crimes. Kasi from the social menace, ibig sabihin, yung we have the social menace, ibig sabihin ang drugs is not only the problem of the police, it is the problem of everyone in the community. Kaya tinawag na social crime. How about public morals class? Tinawag siya na public morals, tinawag siya ngayon na victimless crimes. Okay, ano yung example ng victimless crime na meron tayo?
Prostitute, sir.
Okay, so ano? Prostitution.
Prostitute.
Okay. Okay. So again, we have prostitution. It is considered as a victimless crime. Kasi nga, of course, pag sinabi natin victimless crime class, there is no complaining party or there is no complaining victim. So that is public morals or victimless crime. How about naman pag sinabi nating public officers? Ang public officers, ano naman yung public officers class? Okay, we have the ethical crimes. Okay, ethical crimes naman ang other term for that. Okay, dito tayo sa Title 8. Ano yung example class ng crimes against person or destruction of life crimes? Okay, ano naman ang example natin class? Okay, so we have homicide, murder, parricide,
Murder.
or rape, and so on. Okay, that is crimes against person. Very good. How about naman yung personal security and liberty? Ano yung example niya? What are the examples? Magbigay kayo ng crimes against personal security and liberty kaya tinawag siya na security crimes.
Espionage, sir. Espionage.
Ha? Ano no?
Espionage po.
Ano yun?
Espionage.
Anong espionage? Anong espionage?
Example sa personal security and liberty, sir.
Espionage?
Yes,
Ano
sir.
ba? Parang first time ko na ano yung espionage. Ano ba? Sige, sige. I-type na lang, i-type nyo kasi hindi ko maano, baka nagkamali ng pagdinig ko. Okay, anong example ng personal security and liberty? May na-remember? Wala? Espionage. Okay. Hmm. Okay, titignan natin kung tama yung mga sagot ninyo. Okay. Bakit nakaabot ang data privacy dito? Revised Penal Code ang pinag-uusapan natin ha. Hindi special law. Illegal detention. Okay, illegal detention. Okay. Ang espionage, hindi yan papasok sa personal security and liberty. Okay, so next, how about property class? Magbigay kayo ng example. Ang property, okay, dito muna. Magbigay kayo ng example ng destructive crime. Okay. Under the Title 10, yung crimes against property, tinawag natin na destructive crimes. Okay, magbigay ng example ng destructive crimes. Okay, so we have the malicious mischief. Okay, how about yung acquisitive crime? Okay, acquisitive crime under Title 10. Okay, how about acquisitive crime under Title 10? Okay, so we have, okay, pwedeng robbery and theft. Okay, how about this one? Yung Title 11, yung chastity natin. Okay, so ano yung example class ng chastity natin? Okay, so nakalagay na dyan, kasaa. Okay, what is kasaa? Okay, so we have pwedeng concubinage, adultery, seduction, abductions, and acts of lasciviousness. So yan yung mostly ng crimes na matatagpuan natin sa crimes against chastity, yung kasaa. Okay, concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, and acts of lasciviousness. Correct. Okay, how about civil status of person? Tinawag siya na status crimes. Okay, magbigay ng example ng civil status or civil status of person or status crimes. Okay, bigamy. Okay, tingnan natin mamaya. How about crimes against honor class? Okay, yung mga dignity crimes na tinatawag natin. Magbigay kayo ng example. Okay, libel, slander by deed, and so on. Then, quasi-offenses. Okay, ano yung dalawang quasi-offenses natin, class, or kung considered natin na quasi-crimes? Okay, ano yung dalawa yon? Ano yung dalawang quasi-crimes na meron tayo or quasi-offenses? Okay, so we have imprudence and negligence. Okay. Again, so we have the negligence and imprudence. Yan yung tinatawag natin na quasi-offenses or the quasi-crimes. Okay, so ngayon, familiar na kayo sa ating 14 titles of the Revised Penal Code Book 2 natin. So ito yung ano nila, ito yung kanilang other term. Pag sinabi nating ACA, that is also known as, again, also known as, pag sinabi nating OCA, that is also otherwise known as, and yung ACA naman, that is also called as. That is the 14 titles sa book 2 natin. Okay, so ayan, 14 titles natin. So let's continue. Okay, so dito class, ano natin na magbibigay. Actually, may na ano na to, yung sa mga previous na lecture ko na nagawa natin to. But we will focus more sa tinatawag natin na ibang crimes na nakalagay doon sa ating TOS na bago. Pero yung mga iba dito, ano pa rin natin yan, i-discuss pa rin natin. So pag sinabi natin dito, sige, ilagay nyo na lang sa comment section. Pag sinabi natin treason, ano yung treason dito? Saan yung magiging sagot niya dito sa choices? Tapos isa-isayin natin i-explain kung tama yung sagot ninyo.
Two witness rule, sir.
To witness rule. Okay, how about others? Yung iba, sige pakilagay class para ma-explain ko yung treason one by one.
Two witness rule.
Okay. Yung iba pa, so pakilagay kasi para tingnan natin. Okay, so wag kayong maglagay ng letter. Ang ilagay niyo mismo yung words. Okay, pag sinabi nating treason, okay, ang sagot natin diyan that is letter A. So tandaan niyo class, pag sinabi nating treason, that is under Article 114 of the Revised Penal Code Book 2 natin. So under the crime of treason class, tandaan niyo lang palagi, although wala siya sa TOS natin. So most likely baka ilabas nila kasi paborito rin nila yan sa board exam. So i-explain na lang natin, 'di ba? In case na sundin nilang TOS or in case na hindi man, so posible alam niyo pa rin what is treason. So again, pag sinabi nating treason, of course, that is a war crime or tinatawag rin natin yan na international crime. So ang treason, it is the breach of allegiance or it is the broken loyalty to your country. Pag sinabi natin breach of allegiance, ibig sabihin you broke your loyalty to your country. Instead na pumanig ka sa bansa mo, pumanig ka ngayon sa kalaban. So tandaan nyo class, ang treason is a war crime. So meaning wala pong treason in times of peace. Okay, kapag walang giyera, wala pong treason. So ang treason, paano ba yan ma-consummate? So ang treason class, merong pinaka-importanting elements doon by, of course, una dyan by levying war or by giving aid and comfort sa mga kalaban during the existence of war. Halimbawa, yung China and Pilipinas, merong existence of war na nangyayari. So, pinatuloy mo ngayon yung mga soldier, Chinese soldier or yung mga Chinese na in the existence of war, pinatulog mo, binigyan mo ng pomo at kinamot mo yung mga sugat nila, that is already a crime of treason or you adheres to the enemy. Ibig sabihin, instead na pumanig ka sa Pilipinas, pumanig ka ngayon sa kalaban. So the sense of nationalism ay nawala sa'yo. Nawala yung sense of nationalism, that is a treason. So again, ang treason, makukonvict ka lang sa crime ng treason, kinakailangan natin ng two witness or yung tinatawag natin na two witness rule. Ibig sabihin, dalawang tao na mag-testify on the same overt act para makondikat sa crime na treason in an open court confession. So, tandaan nyo, ang treason is a war crime or tinatawag natin na international crime. So, it is only committed in times of war. Wala pong treason in times of peace. So, kailangan natin ng two witness to testify or two person to testify on the same overt act. So again, ang treason, that is the broken loyalty or you broke your loyalty to your country. So tandaan nyo palagi class, pag sinabi natin nationalism, naloy, nationalism, that is loyalty to your country. Patriotism naman, that is love to your country. That is treason. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo?
Yes, coach.
Okay. Sige, let's continue. Okay, may question ba kayo sa treason class? May question kayo sa treason? Wala. Merong question sa treason? Wala. Naririnig ba? Naririnig yung audio natin? Baka maano.
Yes,
Baka
coach.
wala. Okay, sige. Okay, so okay na, clear na ba ang treason? Okay, sige. So ayan. Next tayo. Pag sinabi nating arbitrary detention, ano yung magiging sagot niya dito, class? Pag sinabi nating arbitrary detention, what is arbitrary detention? What is arbitrary detention?
Baser, public officer, or employee detain the person without legal ground.
Sige, yung iba. Lahat mag-participate para ano rin, maganda. Okay. Sige, pag sinabi nating okay, pag sinabi nating arbitrary detention, ang sagot natin diyan, that is letter B. Of course, a public officer or employee. Again, tandaan natin, ang offender natin sa arbitrary detention class is a public officer or employee. So, of course, pag sinabi nating public officer, tandaan nyo, any person that performs public functions, ibig sabihin nagtatrabaho sa government, tinatawag natin yan na public officer or employee. So, of course, wala namang kahit sino naman hindi pwedeng mag-detain sa tao without the legal grounds or without the court order, di ba? So, kapag you are a public officer or employee, halimbawa you are a police officer, then you detain a person without legal grounds or without court order. So, that is an arbitrary detention. So, ano naman ang magiging crime class kapag the offender is a private person? Again, what is the crime na makukumit natin or makukumit mo kapag ang offender naman is a private person?
Illegal detention, sir.
Okay, very good. So that is illegal detention. Okay, so illegal detention naman. Ang illegal detention class, tandaan nyo lang pagkakaibahan nila ni arbitrary detention is the offender dito is a private person. Then, he or she detains a person without legal grounds, tinatawag natin yan na illegal detention. Okay, nakuha? Okay, illegal detention ang sagot natin doon. Okay, so again, when you are a public officer or employee, then you detain a person without legal grounds. That is what we call the arbitrary detention. Okay, kapag public, that is arbitrary. Kapag private, that is of course a illegal detention. So ganun lang kasimple class ang mga crimes sa board exam. So ang ginagawa natin is the isolation technique. So alam niyo ba what is isolation technique? Ang isolation technique, ibig sabihin yung dalawang crimes na magkasama or connected. Halimbawa, homicide and murder. We have arbitrary detention and illegal detention, grave threats and light threats. So, ano yan class? I-isolate mo ngayon. Ibig sabihin, i-versus mo o alamin mo yung kanilang kaibahan nila. So, anong kaibahan ni illegal detention kay arbitrary and so on and so forth. So, yun para mas mabilis or mas maganda ngayon ang magiging resulta or magiging para aware na aware ka kung ano yung magiging kaibahan nila. Ay sa arbitrary detention wala public officer ang offender. Ang kapag private person illegal detention. So ang board exam naman kapag alam mo naman yung pinaka elements ng crime, wala ka na magiging problema doon. So again, pag sinabi natin arbitrary detention, when a public officer or employee detains a person without legal grounds or without court order, that is a crime of arbitrary detention. When the offender is a private person, then he detains a person without legal grounds. That is illegal detention. Okay? So I hope clear na tayo. So dito class, delay in the delivery of detained person to the proper judicial authorities. Ano yung sinusundan natin dito? Okay. Ano yung sinusundan natin dito? When you delay in the delivery of detained person to the proper judicial authorities. Okay, anong crime naman yan? Yung sa delay in the delivery. Okay, so ano yan? Okay, so ang tawag natin dito sa 12-18-36, that is the reglementary period. So again, yung 12-18-36, the reglementary period na sinusunod natin. So ibig sabihin class, kapag madelay, okay, na turnover mo or madelay yung pag-turnover mo sa proper judicial authorities, yung person na kailangan mo i-deliver. So of course, yung 12, that is for, how about yung 12 hours class? Saan intended ang 12 hours? That is for what crimes ang nakomit mo kapag 12 hours? Light? Tama ba? Tama? Ano class? Yung 12 hours. Saan intended yung 12 hours?
Light.
Light. Okay. Light offenses or light crimes. How about yung 18 naman? How about 18? Saan intended yung 18 natin?
Correctional.
Correctional.
Correctional or
Penalties.
less grave na tawag natin, di ba? Or how about yung 8 no, yung 36 natin?
Afflicted.
Afflictive or capital penalties or grave.
Capital penalties or tinatawag natin na grave. Okay, very good. So again, ulitin natin ang 12 that is for light, 18 naman for less grave, and 36 for grave. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, example ng mga afflicted class, halimbawa, murder or homicide ang nakomit niya na crime. So ibig sabihin, within a period of 36 hours, dapat ma-deliver niya na yung detained person to the proper judicial authorities. Hindi yung nagbatsoy muna kami, ganito ganyan. Hindi pwedeng ganoon. Unless na lang justifiable ang reason niya. Halimbawa, nasa isla pa kinuha yung inaresto. So justifiable naman na baka bumagyo, so pwedeng ma-delay. So pero kapag hindi justifiable ang reason, so ang ikakaso sa iyo, that is the delay in the delivery of detained person to the proper judicial authorities. Kaya kung napapansin niyo sa mga police station or mga ano natin, within 12-18-36 na wala pang nagpa-file ng complaint or ng kaso sa tao na yun na naresto, so dapat kailangan na nilang pakawalan. Kasi again, pwedeng kasuhan sila ng gano'n. Okay? So again, delay in the delivery of detained persons to the proper judicial authorities following the reglementary period, the 12-18-36 period natin. Okay, nakuha ba? Okay na? So that is delay in the delivery of detained person to the proper judicial authorities. How about naman class pag sinabi nating expulsion? What is expulsion? What is expulsion? Okay, ang offender dito is? Tama ba? Bakit na dito? Okay, again, pag sinabi nating expulsion, of course, ang offender dito, class, is a public officer and an employee. Then, you compel someone, halimbawa, you are a barangay captain, tapos you compel someone to change your residence. Ibig sabihin, pinapaalis ka ng barangay captain kasi ayaw niya sa inyo o ayaw niya sa pamilya niyo. Sabi niya umalis kayo sa barangay niya, that is not allowed. Kasi anong ikakaso natin? That is expulsion. Ibig sabihin, you compel someone or you compel a person to change their residence, that is expulsion. Again, when sinabi natin expulsion, you compel someone to change his or her residence, that is expulsion class. So, yung halimbawa na lang dyan, yung si barangay captain. So kapag wala naman siyang dalang legal grounds or wala namang court order na nagsasabi na kailangan niyong umalis doon sa barangay or sa lugar kung saan kayo nakatira, that is expulsion. So how about naman kapag the offender is a private person? Halimbawa, yung kanyang misis, yung misis ni barangay captain ang nagpali sa inyo o yung anak niya, okay, ng barangay captain ang nagpali sa inyo sa barangay or sa lugar na tinitirhan ninyo, ano yung magiging crime naman na nakomit doon?
Grave coercion, sir.
Okay, very good. So that is grave coercion. So again, ulitin natin. When a public officer and employee compel someone or pilitin kayo na to change your residence or paalisin kayo sa lugar na yon kung saan kayo nakatira, that is expulsion. When the offender naman is a private person, then pinilit ka ngayon or you compel someone to change their residence, that is a crime of grave coercion. Pag sinabi kasi natin grave coercion class, pinagbawalan mo ngayon yung isang tao or yung tao na gawin yung mga bagay which is not prohibited by law. Halimbawa, may gusto siyang gawin tapos ayaw mo kasi ayaw mo lang. Pero under the law, hindi naman yon hindi naman yon illegal. So that is grave coercion. So that's why kapag ang offender is a public officer and employee, then they compel someone to change their residence or umalis sa lugar na yon. Okay, that is expulsion. Kapag private person ang offender sa crime na yon, tapos pinilit ka na to change your residence, that is a crime of grave coercion. Okay, nakuha ba? Sorry. Nakuha class, nakuha. Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ayan, my question. How about dito? sa pag sinabi nating violation of domicile. How about sa violation of domicile, class? Anong mangyayari dito sa violation of domicile? Okay, i-explain muna natin ang meaning or ang legal definition ng dwelling. So ano ba si dwelling, class? Dwelling. Dwelling. What is dwelling? Hmm. Bakit may restroom dito? Okay, very good. Si Kilon. So pag sinabi nating dwelling, class, that it talks about any place that is intended for rest and comfort, that is dwelling. So again, ang dito sa dwelling natin, when oh, your internet is unstable, bakit kaya? So again, pag sinabi nating dwelling, that is it talks about any place that is intended for rest and comfort. So ang dwelling, hindi lang yan yung tinatawag natin na na bahay or yung home na sinasabi ninyo, anything or any place that is intended for rest and comfort. Kahit boarding house yan, kahit ano yan, kahit kubo yan, when that place is for your rest and comfort, that is considered as dwelling. So very important ang dwelling dito, class, kasi between violation of domicile and yung isa naman, yung counterpart niya. So, i-explain muna natin what is violation of domicile. Ang violation of domicile, when you are a public officer or employee, halimbawa you are a police officer, then you enter the dwelling of another person without the consent of the owner. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka nagpaalam, without the consent or without the approval of the owner. Then, pagpasok mo doon ka sa bahay nila, halimbawa, pagpasok mo sa bahay nila, you search for documents, you search for evidence. Then, nung sinabihan ka or na-advise ka ng may-ari na lumabas or umalis, you refuse to do so. That is a violation of domicile. Again, ulitin natin. Sa violation of domicile, winasok mo yung dwelling, halimbawa yung bahay, which is without the approval of the owner or without the consent of the owner. Nung pinalabas ka na, or pagpasok mo pala doon sa loob, naghalongkat ka ng mga documents, naghanap ka ng mga evidence, then nung sinabihan ka na umalis, ayaw mong umalis. That is violation of domicile. Pag sinabi naman nating yung isa naman, ano yung counterpart ngayon, class, ni violation of domicile? Kapag a private person naman ang pumasok.
Qualified trespass sa dwelling, sir.
Okay, very good. So kapag ang offender is a private person, of course, ang tawag natin doon is the qualified trespass. Kahit po may dala na search warrant, sir. Ibang usapan naman kapag may dalang search warrant. Okay. Dito sa violation of domicile, wala namang nakalagay doon na may search warrant. Ibang usapan, of course, kapag may dalang search warrant, wala tayong question doon. That is legal. Legal naman yung search warrant. Pwede mong sirain yung bahay, di ba? Kapag may dala kang search warrant kung ayaw ka papasukin. Dito sa violation of domicile, of course, wala. Okay, wala kang dalang search warrant. Okay, so pumasok ka lang. Gusto mo lang maghalongkat. Gusto mo lang humingin ng mga evidence and so on. Okay, so that is, Okay, so welcome. So again, sa violation of domicile, when an employee or when a public officer or employee enters a dwelling of another person without court order, without legal grounds, tapos naghalongkat siya ng mga evidence, mga documents, then nung sinabihan siya na umalis, he refused to do so. That is violation of domicile. Sorry. Kapag naman, halimbawa, yung qualified, kapag offender naman is a private person, ang crime naman dyan na ipapataw natin is the qualified trespass to dwelling. Again, ang crime naman doon na na-commit is the qualified trespass to dwelling. So, yun yung crime natin kapag private person. Pero class, ang kaibahan niya, pag pumasok lang siya sa dwelling or halimbawa sa bahay ng isang tao, pagpasok niya doon, hindi siya naghalongkat ng mga evidence or documents. Pag Nung pinalabas siya, ayaw niyang lumabas. That is a qualified trespass to dwelling. Unlike a violation of domicile na meron talaga, naghalongkat siya ng mga evidence sa loob or naghalongkat siya ng mga gamit doon sa loob na pwedeng gamitin laban sa tao na yon or may-ari ng bahay na yon. That is violation of domicile. Okay, nakuha ba? Nasundan ba? Nasundan niyo, class? Okay, so ganun lang kasimple ha. So, kasi kayang-kaya mo or halimbawa class pagdating sa board exam, wala yung term ay wala yung complete
Yes,
crime
sir.
na qualified trespass to dwelling. Of course, kapag nandun sa choices sa trespass to dwelling, yun na lang yung sagot ninyo. Huwag na kayo maghanap ng wala. Okay? So again, ganun na in case na wala yung qualified trespass to dwelling. So ang dali lang i-explain ang mga crimes under Book 2 kasi nga, halimbawa katulad ko, kahit ano yan, kayang-kaya mo ma-eliminate yan kasi alam mo ang elements. So mag-focus na kayo sa elements ng crime na i-memorize ninyo or i-master ninyo. Okay? So, yan yung mga crimes na meron tayo. Okay? So, again, pag sinabi natin treason, kailangan natin ng two-witness rule to testify on the same overt act. Pag sinabi naman natin arbitrary detention, ang offender naman natin dito is a public officer or employee, then he or she detains a person without legal grounds. Kapag naman ang nag-detain sa tao na walang legal grounds, that is illegal detention, meron tayong sinusunod na 12-1836 or the delay in the delivery of detained person to the proper judicial authorities, yung reglementary period. Then, pag sinabi natin expulsion, when you're a public officer or employee, then you compel someone to change his or her residence, that is expulsion. When a private person naman compels someone to change their residence, that is what we call the grave coercion. Then ang violation of domicile when a public officer or employee enter the dwelling of another person without legal grounds, then pagpasok niya doon, he search for documents, he search for evidence, then nung sinabihan siya or na-advise siya ng may-ari ng bahay na lumabas, he refused to do so. That is violation of domicile. Kapag ang offender naman is a private person, that is a qualified trespass to dwelling, pinasok niya yung dwelling, tapos nung in-advise siya na lumabas, he refused to do so. That is a qualified trespass to dwelling. Okay? Nakuha ba? Okay, may question ba or clear na sa inyo to? Clear na? Clear? Okay na? Okay na? Okay, so ayan. Okay, sige, next tayo. Next line. Okay, so ay tapos na pala to. Okay, how about dito class sa rebellion, kudita, sedition, direct assaults, and indirect assault? Okay, sige. What is your answer dito? Okay, so unahin muna natin si rebellion or insurrection. So ano magiging sagot dito sa rebellion or insurrection? Anong letter or i-type niyo mismo class ang magiging sagot natin? Wait lang class kadali lang. Wait lang. Yeah. Okay? Okay. So again, pag sinabi nating rebellion class or insurrection, tatandaan nyo, so burst that is rising publicly and taking up arms against the government. So ano yung pinaka-purpose? Bakit, of course, merong armas, okay? Armado kayo, di ba? So, nag-aalsa kayo laban sa government. So, anong purpose class? Okay, kapag maging successful ang rebellion or insurrection, ano yung pinaka-purpose niya? Ano yung pinaka-purpose niya? Kasi rising publicly or taking up arms against the government. So, anong purpose niya ngayon? Anong gusto niya i-change? Yung pangulo, yung head of the government, yung form of the government, or the system of the government. Ano yung pinaka-purpose ka? Pag sinabi nating rebellion or insurrection. Okay, to overthrow the government, system of the government. Ano pa? Ano pa class? Ano pa yung pinaka-purpose? Bakit nag-alsa or kumbaga merong rising publicly. Okay, pabagsakin ng government. Okay. So ano pa? Okay. So of course class, pag sinabi nating rebellion or insurrection, ang pinaka-purpose niya or tandaan niyo palagi that is rising publicly or and taking up arms against the government. Ibig sabihin may pag-aalis sa laban sa government then mga armado kayo. So that is a crime of rebellion. Ang pinaka-purpose niya class is to change the form of the government. Again, to change the form of the government. So meaning class, i-deprive ngayon yung president or yung ibang of course yung mga ano sa community natin or sa government natin yung kanilang function. So ibig sabihin that is ang purpose ng rebellion or insurrection class is to change the form of the government. Okay? Gusto nilang humiwalay sa gobyerno. Okay, tama rin yan. So the form or the system of the government. So that is what we call rebellion. Nakuha ba? So again, pag sinabi natin rebellion, ang purpose nila is to change the form of the government or the system of the government. So nakuha? So then of course, we have the kudita. So ano naman yung one-word class na mag-define ngayon kay kudita? Okay, again, ano naman yung one word na mag-define kay kudita? Okay, so ano yung one word na mag-define kay kudita class? So again, pag sinabi natin kudita, so palagi yung tandaan, there is a swift attack. So pag sinabi natin swift attack, of course, there is a surprise attack. Then ang offender natin dyan is whether it is a group of police or military personnel. So that is the kudita. So again, pag sinabi natin kudita, there is a swift attack, ibig sabihin there is a surprise attack. So kung ang purpose ng rebellion is to change the form of the government, so ano naman ngayon ang purpose class ng kudita? Okay, again, ano naman yung magiging purpose ngayon ng kudita? Ano yung pinaka-purpose niya? Ano? Okay. So, particularly what? Particularly to overthrow what? Sino yung gusto nilang alisin sa government? Ang kudita. Okay, so ano yung gusto nilang alisin sa kudita? Put down the government. Put down the government. So specifically, sino or ano?
Presidente, sir.
Okay. Of course, class, ang pinaka-focus nila diyan is to change the head of the government. Okay, again, Ang pinaka-focus nila dyan is to change the head of the government, particularly patalsikin yung presidente. That is coup d'etat. Okay?
Buglasan, sir.
Okay, so that is coup d'etat. So again, pag sinabi natin coup d'etat, that is a swift attack committed by a group of police or military personnel. Ang pinaka-purpose nila, class, is to change the head of the government para, of course, ang mamamalakad, halimbawa, yung police or military personnel. Patulad ng ibang bansa, di ba? Kapag napatalsik nila yung president, so ang style ng ano nila doon is military. So, or military. Kung ano yung ano sa military, yun yung magiging form ng government or style ng government na susundin ng isang bansa kapag military na ang nakakuha or ano yun, or tawag na ito, na ano niya nakuha niya na ngayon ang power over doon sa government. Okay? So again, pag sinabi ng coup d'etat, there is a swift attack. Ibig sabihin, there is a surprise attack committed by a group of military or personnel. Okay. Author by Gringo Honasan. Okay. So, ayan. So, again, that is the coup d'etat. So, again, coup d'etat, there is a swift attack or surprise attack by a group of police or military personnel. Okay, that is the coup d'etat or the swift attack. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha nyo? Okay, so yan. Okay, so again, ang coup d'etat, that there is a swift attack. Okay, swift attack. Okay, next. Pag sinabi naman nating sedition, ano naman yung sedition, class? What is sedition? What is sedition, class? Sedition? What is sedition? Okay, pero of course, wala naman to sa TOS. Explain pa rin natin yung pasadahan natin. Okay, what is sedition? Okay, publicly and tumultuously. Okay. Okay, so again, pag sinabi natin sedition, class, of course, that is publicly and tumultuously. So that is sedition. So ang sedition naman, class, ganito yan. So of course, gusto mong pabagsakin ang gobyerno. Of course, paano mo pabagsakin ang gobyerno? Of course, sorry, hindi mo sinusuportahan ang government. So kapag halimbawa may merong election, yung kapitbahay mo na pupunta doon na bumoto, ayaw mo ngayon kasi ayaw mo eh. Ayaw mo suportahan ng government, or pwede rin na kapag may bagong batas na ipapatupad ng gobyerno, ayaw mong sumunod, so that is sedition. So pag sinabi kasi natin tumultuously, ibig sabihin parang tumututol ka. Okay? Publicly and tumultuously. So ibig sabihin parang tumututol ka ngayon na di ba, ayaw mo sa batas or ayaw mo talaga sa government in general. So, gusto mo na magkaroon ng tinatawag natin, class, na kalayaan sa government. So, ayaw mo. Yung may mga activities ang government natin, ayaw mo rin kasi tumututol ka ngayon sa kanila. So, that is a what we call, class, na sedition. Ibig sabihin, publicly and tumultuously or tumututol ka talaga sa pamamalakad nila, sa lahat-lahat. So, hindi mo suportahan, that is sedition. Or kapag you incite, class, halimbawa, o sige, gagirahin natin ang government, pababagsakin natin. So, that is also a sedition. Ibig sabihin, you incite ngayon na pabagsakin ang government, you induce another person, or humikayat ka ngayon ng ibang tao para pabagsakin ang existing government or yung gobyerno na meron tayo. That is sedition, class. Okay, nakuha ba? Okay, so wait lang i-stop share ko to kasi gagawa ako ng isang slide para i-explain natin yung method natin. Yes, of course, yung mga rally and so on. Pero yung mga rebellion, class, coup d'etat, sedition, hindi nakalagay sa bagong TOS natin. Pero in case na naman na itatanong nila, no? Tapos wala ring direct assault and indirect assault doon. In case na itanong nila, so ready pa rin kayo. So explain muna natin, class, yung ating tinatawag natin kanina na, sana ba yun? Gawa tayo ng isang dito, yung empty space para i-explain natin, hindi. Explain natin yung IPMH method kasi yun yung pinaka-importante ng natin dito. Wait lang. I-share natin ulit. Paano ba yun? Okay. Nawala ba ako? Nawala ba? Or nandiyan na? Okay, hindi. Sinadya ko talaga na, ano, na i-stop share. Okay na, okay na? Ready na? Okay na ba? Kasi ituturo ko sa inyo yung IPMH method, yung pinaka number one kanina or pinaka-focus ng ating discussion, yung IPMH method natin. Okay, pakilagay doon sa baba kung ready na kasi parang nawala ako bigla. Nandyan ba? Narinig niyo? Okay, so ready na. Okay, so again, ito yung pinaka-importante class. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng ano kasi ngayon. Kasi sa board exam, lalong-lalo na yung last board exam doon. Board exam. Okay, lalo na yung last board exam natin. Maraming tanong na kinuha sa Paris side. So ngayon, very specific sila na dapat pag-aralan ninyo or ma-master ninyo ang mga question or ma-master ninyo ang formula kung ang crime ba is infanticide, parricide, murder, or homicide. So ngayon, ituturo ko sa inyo para mabilis ang ano ninyo, para clear na ang pagkaintindi niyo ng kaibahan ni infanticide sa parricide, sa murder, and of course the homicide. Okay. So meron tayong tinatawag of course na IPMH method na lang. Isulat ano na lang natin dito. Okay, so meron tayong, okay, nawawala si sir. Nawawala ba ako? Choppy? Pata. Okay, so again, meron tayong tinatawag. Okay na ba? Okay na? Paki-confirm muna. Para before tayo magpatuloy. Okay na. Sige. Okay, sige. Or ano na lang kaya? Sige. Okay naman siguro. Okay, sige. Dito tayo, class. So again, we will identify kung ang crime ba is a infanticide, parricide, homicide, or murder. So, pero para mas mabilis ang buhay ninyo, class. So, meron tayong formula na susundin dito. Wait lang ano muna, narinig sa ang audio natin. Meron pa, ano dito. Okay na? Okay na? Okay, sige. Okay na. Sige, sige. Let's continue. So again, under the new TOS, yung nalagay natin so magkakaroon ng specific doon. So yung pinakauna doon, dapat ma-identify niyo ang difference between murder, infanticide, parricide, homicide, and of course, yung rape. Yun yung mga specific na dapat yung aralin under the Title 8 of the book to natin na meron tayo. Okay, so aaralin natin ngayon using the formula na meron tayo or na sinusunod natin. Of course, it is a tested formula already, not just criminology, no? Ito rin yung mga ginagamit ng mga nagba-bar exam. Okay, yung formula na yon kung para ma-identify whether the crime is infanticide, parricide, murder, or homicide. So let's try to ano din. Wait lang. Okay, nagkaka na yun. Okay, so dito tayo, class. So meron tayong tinatawag na, okay, so nandyan na kayo. Dapat hindi maputol, no? Meron tayong tinatawag, class, na IPMH method or yung tinatawag natin na ARQA. So again, IPMH method, then we have ARQA. So tandaan niyo kapag nag-identify tayo ng crime, whether it is infanticide, parricide, murder, or homicide. So tinitingnan natin agad-agad or meron tayong formula dyan na sinusunod. Okay? So mauna palagi si infanticide. Again, una nating titingnan kung ang crime ba ay pasok sa crime na infanticide followed by parricide. Okay? Kapag hindi pasok sa infanticide, so ang next natin na titingnan dyan is the parricide, kung pasok pa sa parricide. Kapag hindi naman, ang next natin na titingnan kung pasok ba siya sa murder. Kung hindi naman, kung titingnan natin kung pasok ba siya sa homicide. Then, although, yung ating unahin doon is kung pasok siya ngayon sa infanticide. So, meaning, ang tatandaan natin dito, ang una nating titingnan, kung merong age, yung letter A. Okay, that is the age. Pag sinabi naman nating R, that is the relationship. Pag sinabi nating Q, qualifying circumstances, and yung A naman, the absence of qualifying circumstances. Again, ito yung ating So, mauna palagi si infanticide. Okay, infanticide followed by parricide. Okay, followed by parricide. Next, murder. Next, of course, we have the homicide. The homicide. So, yan yung sequence class na natitingnan natin kung ang crime ba is infanticide, parricide, murder, or homicide. Then, after that, so paano natin malalaman kung pasok ba siya sa infanticide? So, sinusundan natin yung ARQA technique. So, una, of course, titingnan natin dyan kung yung age ba ipasok or yung tinatawag natin minsan na doon pasok sa time or days na tinatawag natin. Then, after that, kung hindi pasok sa infanticide class, kailangan natin tinanan kung pasok siya ngayon doon sa relationship or matatawag ba natin yan na parricide. Then after that, kung hindi pasok sa parricide, ang next natin na hanapin yung presence ng kahit isang qualifying circumstance. Okay. Then pag sinabi naman nating homicide, of course, titingnan natin kung merong absence. Okay, absence of qualifying circumstance. Okay, the absence of qualifying circumstance. So, tanda nyo class, again, ulitin natin, we have the IPMH method, ARQA, infanticide, titingnan natin una kung yung pasok ba siya sa age or yung time or days. Ang parricide naman, sa relationship, sa murder naman, kung merong presence ng qualifying circumstances, and homicide naman, kung merong or walang presence or there is an absence of qualifying circumstance. Okay, susundin natin yung formula na meron tayo class. Okay, ito yung formula natin na. So again, ulitin ko, palagi natin sinasabi na mauna palagi natin na i-identify yung age. Okay, so age muna, age natin i-identify. So meaning class, ang titingnan natin dito kung pasok ba siya sa tinatawag natin na infanticide. Okay, again, kung pasok ba siya sa crime na infanticide. So tandaan nyo class, pag sinabi natin infanticide, that is the killing of a child which is less than 3 days old, or that is the killing of a child less than 72 hours when we convert it in hours. So again, pag sinabi natin infanticide, that is the killing of a child or minor which is less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. Tandaan nyo, very crucial ang tinatawag natin na less than. Okay? Kasi kapag hindi na yan less than, halimbawa sabihin natin exactly 3 days old or exactly 72 hours, ano yung magiging crime class? Again, pag sinabi natin hindi na siya less than, ano yung magiging crime ngayon kapag hindi na siya less than?
Murder.
Murder, sir.
Murder agad-agad? Of course, hindi niyo pwedeng sabihin na murder kasi nga may sinusundan tayo na formula. Okay? So, huwag niyo sabihin agad na murder. Yan yung pagkakamali ng mga students. Huwag niyo agad sabihin na murder. Okay. So, kaya nga, ito yung formula natin. So, tinetest ko lang kayo, nag-murder kayo agad. Huwag muna. Okay? So, bakit nag-homicide na agad si Kilon? Huwag muna kayong sasagot. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong formula na sinusunod. Kaya nga, di ba, binigyan ko kayo ng formula, IPMH method, ARQA. So, nagpa-reside agad si Jill Elizabeth. So, tingnan natin mamaya. Ganito, class. Nandiyan pa ba kayo? Nasusundan niyo ba yung discussion ko?
Yes, coach.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
ganito. Okay, ulitin natin. Again, ulitin natin. Ang first natin na, okay, sabi ko, tinetest ko lang kayo, di ba? Bumigay naman agad kayo. Okay, so dito class. Again, ito yung tested formula na ginagamit ng mga senior ninyo or for how many years. Ito yung ginagamit namin. Okay, so actually walang masyadong nagtuturo ng ganito. So, ano yan? So, ngayon, para mas mabilis ang or madali ang buhay ninyo, Again, ulitin natin, kapag yung crime, nag-identify tayo ng crime, uunahin muna natin i-identify yung age. Kung pasok ba siya sa crime na infanticide. So, ang infanticide class na niyo palagi is the less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. Kapag exactly 3 days old or exactly 72 hours, of course, wag mo agad sabihin na murder, homicide, or parricide. So, mamaya i-explain natin. So, tandaan nyo, class, sa crime na infanticide, hindi tayo tumitingin kung sino ang pumatay. Okay, again, ulitin natin. Sa crime na infanticide, hindi natin tinitingnan kung sino ang pumatay. Tinitingnan natin dito yung time or yung age na tinatawag natin. Ulitin ko. Tinitingnan natin dito yung time or days or yung age ng tinatawag natin na yung victim. Kapag kahit papa niya yan, kahit mama niyang pumatay sa kanya, tapos less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours, wala tayong pakialam doon. That is already or that is automatic infanticide. Pag nakita niyo sa question class ang term na less than 3 days old, kahit sinong pumatay, automatic infanticide yan. Okay. Nasundan? Nakuha ba?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, clear? Okay, so again, sa infanticide, wala tayong pakialam kung sinong pumatay. Ang may pakialam tayo yung time or days. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha. Okay, so halimbawa, nagkataon class na hindi siya ngayon papasok sa infanticide kasi nga, halimbawa, exactly 3 days old or exactly 72 hours, that's the time, susundan mo ngayon yung formula. Ang next mo na hanapin is the relationship. Again, ang next mo na hanapin is the relationship. Okay. So, relationship ang hanapin mo, class. So, meaning, class, ang crime na pag-uusapan natin ngayon dito is the, parricide. Okay, parricide, class. Okay, kaya huwag kayong makipag-away, ay murder yan, ay homicide yan, ay parricide yan. Kasi nga may formula tayong sinusundan. Formula yan, okay? So, ang next mo na titingnan dyan is the relationship. Dito sa relationship, tandaan mo or titingnan mo muna kung pasok ba siya doon sa tinatawag natin na crime na parricide. So, meron tayong acronym na sinusunod dito, class. The FM-CADS. Okay, FM-CADS. Okay, so FM-CADS. Hinati ko na sa dalawa. So, ito yung acronym natin, FM-CADS. Yung letter F that stands for father, yung M that stands for mother, yung letter C that stands for child, yung letter A naman, ascendants. Pag sinabi natin ascendants, class, yung lolo at lola, patas kasi. Descendants naman, yung mga apo. Then of course, yung letter S naman, that is the spouse. Okay. So, tandaan nyo, class, so we have FM cards. So again, we have the father, mother, and child. Then ascendants, descendants, and spouse. That is yung ating FM cards. So, tandaan nyo, ulitin natin sa crime na parricide, when you killed your father, mother, and child, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate, that is parricide. Again, ulitin natin, kahit anak ka pa sa labas, or kahit illegitimate father ka pa, illegitimate mother, illegitimate child, that is considered, pag pinatay ka, that is parricide. Ulitin natin, when you killed your father, mother, and child, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate, that is parricide. Pag pinatay mo naman yung lolo at lola mo, descendants, and spouse, dapat yan, class, magiging legitimate para matawag natin na parricide. Ulitin natin. Kapag when you killed your ascendants, descendants, and spouse, it must be legitimate to be considered parricide. Halimbawa sa spouse, kapag common law spouse mo yan, ang common law spouse, class, ibig sabihin, the woman and the man are living in the same group without the benefit of marriage. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila kasal or they are considered as live-in partners. Pag pinatay mo yon, of course, hindi yan papasok sa parricide. Ulitin ko, FM calls lang ang tandaan ninyo sa parricide. When you killed your father, mother, and child, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate, that is parricide. When you kill the man, your ascendants, descendants, and spouse, dapat legitimate yan para matawag natin yan, class, na parricide. Okay, nakuha ba? Nasundan niyo, class? Nasundan?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so ngayon, para padaliin ko yung buhay ninyo, ano naman yung mga tinatawag natin na not parricide? Okay, not parricide. Okay. So ganito, class, kapag tatawagin natin na hindi parricide yan, kapag una, kapag pinatay mo yung illegitimate grandparent mo. Ibig sabihin yung lolo, your grandfather and grandmother, your lolo and lola, okay, na illegitimate, okay, that is not parricide. Kasi sinabi di ba dito, dapat ang ascendants, descendants, and spouse dapat legitimate para matawag na parricide. So kapag pinatay mo yung illegitimate grandparent mo, yung lola at lolo mo, kasi matatawag natin na illegitimate grandparents sila kapag yung anak, yung papa at mama mo ay hindi kasal. So meaning, illegitimate grandparent mo yon. Or ibig sabihin, illegitimate grandson ka or illegitimate granddaughter ka. Kapag pinatay mo sila, or kapag pinatay yung illegitimate grandparent, that is not father's side. Okay, nakuha ba? Nasundan? Nakuha ba niyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pangalawa, thank you. Kapag anong tawag natin class, kapag halimbawa nagkahiwalay yung mama at papa mo, tapos nagkaroon sila ng sariling asawa, may bago na naman sila ng sariling asawa, pag pinatay mo yun sila, anong tawag natin doon? When you killed your, anong tawag natin doon? Step parent. Okay, 'di ba? Yung step parent nyo. Ibig sabihin yun yung pwede nating tawagin na stepmom, 'di ba? Stepmom. Okay, stepmom or stepdad. Okay. So kapag pinatay mo class, ang step parent mo, yung stepmom or stepdad mo, that is not parricide. That is not parricide. Ako again, ulitin natin, pag pinatay mo yung stepmom mo, yung stepdad mo, that is not parricide. Nakuha? Nakuha class? Okay na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. Pag pinatay mo naman yung tinatawag natin na, okay, pag pinatay mo naman yung tinatawag natin yung uncle and auntie mo, hindi yan class papasok sa parricide. Again, pag pinatay mo yung uncle or auntie mo, it is not parricide. Okay, bakit uncle? Unlito. Okay, again, when you killed your uncle or your auntie, that is not parricide. Pang-apat, when you killed your nephew, okay, your nephew class, or your niece, it is not parricide. Okay? So again, pag tama ba yung spelling ng niece ko, no? Again, when you killed your nephew or your niece, that is not parricide. Number 5, when you killed your cousin or cousin to cousin, okay, so ano ba, pinatay mo yung cousin mo, it is not parricide. Pinatay ka niya, that is not parricide as well. Again, ulitin natin, pag pinatay mo yung cousin mo or pag pinatay ka ng cousin mo, that is not parricide. Pang-anim, okay, kapag pinatay mo naman class, yung tinatawag natin class na your brother, okay, your brother and sister. Again, when you killed your brother and your sister, that is not parricide. Bakit? Kasi nga, sinabi ni parricide na hindi sila kasali. So, wala tayong magagawa doon. So, again, ulitin natin. Dapat clear na sa inyo, ha? When you killed your brother or sister, that is not parricide. Again, ulitin natin. When you killed your brother and your sister, that is not parricide. So, titingnan natin kung murder or homicide yan. Pang-7, okay, pang-7 naman class, when you killed your tinatawag natin na adopter and adoptee. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung nag-adopt sa'yo, pinatay mo yon, that is not parricide. Tapos ikaw rin, kung pinatay ka na kung sino yung nag-adopt sa'yo, that is not parricide. Kasi di ba ang ating parricide is a direct line. So matatawag natin na parricide pag direct line. Yung again, yung relationship with an adopter and adoptee, it is not considered as parricide. Nakuha ba? Okay, again, ulitin natin, hindi yan kasali sa parricide kapag when you killed your adopted child or yung adopter mo. That is not parricide. Pang-walo naman class, kapag sa Muslim, okay, kapag when you killed your second, third, or halimbawa, my fourth, and so on, pag pinatay mo yon, that is not parricide. Kasi under the law or under the revised penal code, isa lang naman ang in-honor doon na tinatawag natin class na spouse or na wife. Pero under the Muslim code and personal laws, hindi yan sila considered as illegal. They're all legal naman kasi 'di ba? They can have more than one wives as long as as long as he or she can deal with them with equal companionship. Okay? So ibig sabihin tama yan. Pero under the application of the revised penal code, only the first wife was credited to be considered as parricide. So again, sorry, when you killed your second, third, and fourth wife, kapag you're Muslim, that is not parricide. Pwedeng murder yan or pwedeng homicide as the case may be. Okay, so yan. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi natin sa relationship, titingnan natin kung pasok ba siya sa parricide. So tandaan nyo lang yung FM CADS. Yung FMC, hatiin yung FM CADS, hatiin sa dalawa. So when you killed your father, mother, and child, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate, that is parricide. O kahit nakapikita ko, alam ko yung, ano diba? Kasi nga iniisip ko lang yung formula. Then when you killed your ascendants, descendants, and spouse, dapat legitimate yan para matawag natin or makonsider natin as parricide. Okay, so okay. When you killed or paano naman natin malalaman na hindi yan siya parricide? Okay, again, paano naman natin malalaman that it is not parricide ngayon? Again, una natin na titinan dyan. Okay, common law. Okay, of course class, yung common law wife mo, hindi yan matatawag na parricide. Kasi of course, ayan na yan, dapat legitimate spouse. Okay, na-explain ko na actually kanina dito sa spouse. Then again, ulitin natin, ano ba yung mga tinatawag natin class na hindi papasok sa parricide? Okay, madali na yung buhay ninyo ha. Kapag when you killed your illegitimate grandparent, yung lola at lolo mo, then yung na-illegitimate that is not parricide. When you killed your step-parent, your stepmom or your stepdad, that is not parricide. When you kill your uncle, when you kill your auntie, that is not parricide. When you kill your nephew or your niece, that is not parricide. When you kill your cousin, okay, cousin to cousin relationship, that is not parricide. Then when you killed your brother and sister, that is still not parricide. When you killed your adopter and adopted, that is not parricide. And sa Muslim naman class, when you killed your second, third, and fourth wife, or and so on, kung meron pa, that is not parricide. Kasi only the first wife ang i-credit natin sa crime na parricide. Okay? Nakuha ba? Nakuha ba ninyo? O, di ba? Clear na ba? Clear na ba ang parricide?
Sir,
Yes.
question po, sir.
Ano yun? Ano? Okay na, clear na.
Paano po, sir, pag
Pero yung ascendant at descendant, sir, naguguluhan ako dyan.
Hindi. Isa-isa lang muna. O, sige, si ano muna, si Sir Sonny. Yes, Sir Sonny?
Yung ascendant at descendant po, sir.
Tapos? Ano yung problema sa ascendant?
Sir, yung ascendant at descendant po, naguguluhan ako, sir.
Ay, hindi mo alam ang ascendants and descendants. Ang ascendants, pataas yan. Yung lolo at lola mo. Ang descendants naman, pababa. Yun yung mga apo. Again, ascendants, lola at lolo. Yung mga apo, yun yung descendants. Okay na? Apo?
Opo, sir. Thank you.
Okay, apo yung descendants. Ang ascendants naman, lola at lolo. Okay, no problem. Okay, how about others? May question kayo sa parricide? Yes, Sir William?
Sabi dun sa FMC, sir, legitimate tapos illegitimate, sir.
Oo.
Paano pag ang nagpatayan, sir, is yung mag-asawa na hindi kasal po, sir? Papasok po ba yun sa parricide, sir?
Of course, hindi. Di ba sinabi natin kanina, when you killed your spouse na illegitimate or common law spouse na hindi kasal, of course, hindi yan magiging parricide. Di ba? Kaya nga sinabi niya dapat legitimate spouse. Kapag live-in partner kayo, class, hindi yan parricide. Kaya nga, clear naman ang batas natin, no? Sabi niya dapat legitimate spouse. Ibig sabihin, dapat kasal kayo. Kung hindi kayo kasal, of course, hindi yan pwedeng papasok sa parricide. Nakuha ba?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, may question pa? Yung iba? Dexter?
Hello,
Sir
Coach.
Dexter? Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, Coach. Sa descendant po, Coach, ang ilang degree, Coach, hanggang sa...
Ang sa degree naman, ano naman doon sa third. Pero ang isipin nyo lang, hindi naman tinatanong doon. Sa board exam, basic lang tinatanong. Huwag na kayo mag-overthink kung anong degree. Basta ascendants, that is yung lola at lolo niya, descendants naman yung apo niya. Ganun lang naman ang tinatanong sa board exam. Hindi naman sila doon yung pinaka-complicated na masyado. Kasi hindi naman kayo magbabar exam. Board exam naman ang tinitake ninyo. Yung pinaka-basic lang yung alam nyo. Huwag na kayo mag-overthink ha. So, kung anong degree, okay? Pero hindi na yan sila magtatanong doon. Basta alam nyo lang yung pinaka-basic dito. Okay na yan.
Thank you po, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, so may iba pa bang
Thank you,
question?
Coach.
Okay, basta huwag kayo masyadong mag-overthink, lalong-lalo na dito sa infanticide, parricide, murder, and homicide. Kasi palagi kapag nag-overthink kayo, magkakamali talaga kayo, di ba? Ay, baka si X killed Y, what crime was committed? Sagot agad, dapat homicide. Ikaw naman, nag-overthink ka, ay, baka mama niya si X, no, di ba? So, baka parricide to, patay. Mali ka na. X killed Y. What crime was committed? Ay baka lolo niya si X. Ah, mali ka na naman. Kasi nga nag-overthink ka. So kung ano yung question lang yung sagot niyo. Okay? So, pan-decide. Kasi ang mangyayari sa iyo, pan-decide talaga, sir. Pag nephew and niece, sir, dapat legitimate, sir, para pasok sa parricide. Hindi. Wala namang nakalagay dyan. Yes po. Yung sa nephew and niece. Yung apo, yun. Dapat legitimate. Basta nahati na nga natin, no? Yung when you killed your father, your mother, and child, dapat legitimate yan or illegitimate. Kapag pinatay mo yung lola at lolo mo, dapat legitimate yan. Pag pinatay mo yung apo, yung nephew, ay hindi, yung apo nila, yung grandson and granddaughter, that is descendants, dapat legitimate class. Yung nephew naman kasi class at niece, that is your pamangkin. Okay? Hindi naman yan kasali doon sa tinatawag natin na ano. Okay, your pamangkin yan. Ibig sabihin, ang relationship mo sa anak ng ate mo or sa anak ng kuya mo, that is your nephew or your niece. Nakuha ba? Anong cobal? Ang cobal, that is the two types of relatives naman. Yung consanguinity, you are relative by blood, and affinity naman, that is your relative by law. Okay na ba? Bakit na-insert si cobal dito?
Nasa defense yata yan.
Self-defense yun ha, iba yun ha. So dapat, wag yung ipaghalo kasi magkakaproblema talaga. Ano lang?
Defense of relatives yan, sir?
Yes, sa defense of relatives natin. Yung sa cobal, yung sa brosa. Okay, yung sa brosa, yung sister, affinity, yung, yes, and so on. Balikan nyo na lang doon yung sa defense natin, sa self-defense. Okay, so wala
Book
yung...
1 yata yan.
Ano yun? Ano yun?
Book 1 po yata yan.
Okay. Naguluhan kayo Bakit yung may mga sinasali nyo yung si Cobal? Book 2 tayo ngayon. Book 2. Okay? Okay, sige. Okay na ba? Okay na? Okay, baka naguluhan lang sila. Okay na ba? May question kayo sa parricide? So clear na tayo dito Ulitin nyo ito mamaya yung video natin. Bago kayo matulog, dapat walang matutulog kapag hindi na master to. Okay. Okay na? Okay na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ano yung pandicide? Pandikoko? Pandicide. Okay. So may bagong term pala na pandicide, no? Okay, ganito class. So again, ulitin natin. Ang unahin natin tingnan dyan is kung tinatawag natin na sa age. Then after that, sa relationship. Halimbawa class, kapag nagkataon na wala doon, hindi pa rin pumasok sa relationship or sa parricide, ano yung next natin na consideration? Ano yung next natin na consideration class kapag hindi pasok doon sa parricide?
Murder, sir.
Murder. Of course, titingnan natin class kung may presence ng qualifying circumstance. Okay, dito naman tayo. So, titingnan natin kung meron tayong presence na qualifying circumstance. Okay, bakit tayo dito saan ba tayo pwede mag-type? O dito naman. Okay. So, ayan. Okay. So, dito naman tayo. So, ang next natin na titingnan dito, class, is kung may presence ng qualifying, okay, may presence, sorry. Bakit tayo mag-caps lang? Okay. Okay, kung may presence ng qualifying circumstance. Okay, so ano ba yung magiging epekto nito, class, kapag may presence ng qualifying circumstance? Tandaan nyo, magiging epekto niyan is it will change the nature. Okay, it will change the nature of the crime. Okay, that is the qualifying circumstance. Again, it will change the nature of the crime. So meaning from homicide, nagiging murder siya ngayon. Okay, so yan yung nag-qualify siya. Kumbaga, dati ang crime sana lang is a homicide. So nag-qualify siya ngayon into murder. Kasi nga there is a presence of a qualifying circumstance. So paano ba natin malalaman, class, na merong qualifying circumstance? Of course, titingnan natin doon yung yung trisec na tinatawag natin. Malulow ba 'to yung laptop ko? Wait lang I-charge muna natin, class. May charger. Wait lang, i-charge ko muna, class, kasi baka malow ba tayo. Okay, sige. Okay, so ayan, again, ulitin natin, pag sinabi nating qualifying circumstance, it will change the nature of the crime. So ang crime lang sana, or ang crime lang sana na na-commit niya, class, is homicide. Okay, so kaya kasi may presence ng qualifying circumstance, kaya naging murder. So ang tanong ngayon, class, dapat ba lahat kompleto yung qualifying circumstance para matawag natin na ang crime is a crime of murder? Yes or no? Again, ulitin
Yes,
natin.
sir.
Okay. Ano? Yes ba? Yes? Dapat kompleto? Okay, of course hindi. Kahit isa lang dyan, okay, kahit isa lang yung natin, yung okay, tawag nito. Kahit isa lang yung presence ng qualifying circumstance, that is considered already as a murder. Naka? Hindi dapat or hindi kailangan kompleto yung elements ng or hindi kailangan dapat kompleto yung circumstances or yung qualifying circumstance para matawag natin na murder. Kahit isa lang yan, automatic matatawag natin yan na murder, class. Nakuha ba? Okay, dito, class, meron tayong 6 na sinusunod dito sa qualifying circumstance of murder. So, ang acronym natin dyan is the trisec. Okay, the trisec. Una dyan, yung letter T, that is, it is considered as treachery. Oh, sorry. Okay, we have the treachery or alevosía. Okay, alevosía. So again, so we have the treachery or alevosía. Pag sinabi kasi nating treachery or alevosía, class, ibig sabihin, the offender or the offender, class, make sure yung maging successful ang crime. Diba, halimbawa, nakatalikod siya nung binaril mo, tapos sinaksak mo nung nakatalikod siya or nakatulog siya sa, for example, sa kama, binaril mo, okay, of course, hindi nakapanlaban, no, kasi na-surprise or totally hindi talaga niya alam na mangyayari yun sa kanya. So that is a treachery or alevosía. Ibig sabihin, yung offender natin made sure na maging successful ang crime without any doubts. That is treachery or alevosía. Of course, class, meron din dyan yung tinatawag natin na abuse of superior strength. Under dyan sa treachery, abuse of superior strength, yung SS ang tinatawag natin. Diba? Ang abuse of superior strength, class, ano yan? Kapag sinabi natin abuse of superior strength, of course, there is an inequality of forces between the aggressor and the offender. So, ibig sabihin, ang puwersa nila, class, na taglay, hindi pantay. Halimbawa, anong laban ng bata sa matanda or anong laban ng senior citizen sa kaedad ninyo. So, that is what we call the abuse of superior strength. Then, by the use of means to weaken the defense naman, class, ibig sabihin, halimbawa ganito, nag-aaway kayo tapos kumuha ka ngayon ng buhangin, itinapon mo sa mata niya, nung nabulag na siya or nung hindi na siya nakakita, saka mo sinaksak, saka mo binarel. So, ibig sabihin, that is by the use of means to weaken the defense, that is considered as murder. Okay, again, under pag sinabi natin yung letter T class, that is treachery or alivosya, ibig sabihin, the offender doesn't have the freedom or wala talaga siyang pagkakataon or wala talaga siyang chance to defend himself or herself from the attack. That is what we call the treachery. Pangalawa naman class, ano naman yung letter R? What is letter R? In exchange of? What is R? What is R class? Okay, very good. That is, okay, in exchange of, kapag yung pagpatay is in exchange of reward, we have money, or in exchange of, or promise na tinatawag natin class. So kapag yung pagpatay is in exchange of reward, may pabuya, may pera, or may promise, halimbawa, patayin mo si ganito, bibigyan kita ng 1 million, or papatayin mo si ganito, papakasalan mo yung anak ko. There is a promise. Pag promise, ibig sabihin sa future yan mangyayari. Again, kapag yung pagpatay class is in exchange of reward, in exchange of money, in exchange of promise, okay, that is what we call a crime of murder. Ano naman yung letter I class? What is letter I?
Inundation, sir.
Okay, very good. So pag sinabi natin I, that is inundation. Okay, ang inundation, what is inundation by the way? What is inundation
Mga,
class?
mga fire, poison,
Okay.
shipwreck.
Okay, so ang pag sinabi nating inundation, of course, pag sinabi nating inundation class, kapag yung flooding is hindi na makontrol, that is considered as inundation na. Okay, so fire, poison, standing or vessel, so that is already a crime of murder. Or conflagration. Ang conflagration naman class, kapag yung fire is hindi na maapula, that is conflagration naman. So kapag ginawa mo yung pagpatay during those time or on the time of inundation or on times of conflagration, okay, so yung fire, poison, standing a vessel, that is considered as a murder. Okay, so nakuha, that is considered as murder. Nakuha ninyo? Okay, so next. Pag sinabi naman natin class na letter C, what is letter C? What is letter C?
Calamities.
Okay, or in times of calamities. Ano mga example ng calamities na meron tayo, class? Okay, ano yung example ng mga calamities na meron tayo? Okay, of course,
Earthquake,
earthquake, volcanic eruption, during pandemic, and etc. That is considered as calamities. So during that time, ginawa mo yung class, ang pagpatay, so that is considered as a murder. Okay, so that is in times of calamities, in times of disaster, that is considered, papasok yan sa tinatawag natin na crime. How about letter E? Ito yung pinaka-paborito natin. What is letter E? That is?
evident premeditation, sir.
Okay, evident premeditation. Okay, with an evident premeditation, pag sinabi natin evident premeditation class, ibig sabihin there is a careful planning ahead of committing a crime. Ibig sabihin, mayroong pagpaplano, no? Okay, ano yung gagamitin niya? Ano yung gagamitin? Saan nila tatambangan? Or saan nila hihintayin yung papatayin ng tao? That is evident premeditation. Ibig sabihin, there is a careful planning ahead of committing a crime. There is evident premeditation. How about yung letter C class?
Cruelty.
Okay, very good. So pag sinabi natin letter C, that is cruelty, ibig sabihin, tandaan nyo lang, that is the excessive physical suffering. Okay, so that is the excessive physical suffering inflicted by to the victim or to the person. So ibig sabihin, sobra-sobra, no? Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, nung pinatay mo na, pinag-chop-chop mo pa yung katawan niya, that is cruelty or that is excessive physical suffering. While pag sinabi natin, halimbawa, pinatay mo na tapos pinasagasaan mo pa ng sasakyan, that is cruelty. Outraging or scoffing, tama yan, that is cruelty. Or halimbawa, bago mo pinatay class, nilublob mo siya sa kumukulong tubig, that is still cruelty. Okay, again, pag sinabi natin excessive physical suffering, that is what we call cruelty. Again, yung tricycle class sa crime na murder, una, we have the treachery or alivosya. Under sa treachery, nandiyan rin yung abuse of superior strength. or tinatawag natin na inequality of forces between the aggressor and the offender and the means to weaken the defense. Kapag yung pagpatay is in exchange of reward, money, or promise, that is murder. Kapag inundation, that is the in times yung of inundation, conflagration, and so on. In times of calamities, evident premeditation, there is a careful planning ahead of committing a crime. Then ang cruelty naman, of course, there is an excessive physical suffering inflicted upon a person. Sorry. Tinatawag natin yan or kinoconsider natin yan as a murder. Okay? So that is murder. Tandaan nyo, class, hindi lahat dapat nandyan. Sorry. Kahit isa lang, may halimbawa in exchange of money, that is already a murder. Kapag in exchange of promise, that is already a murder. So ang tanong ko ngayon, very controversial or very, kasi ang pagkakaalam mostly ng mga estudyante, dati pa mga 5 years ago, 10 years ago, until now, di ba? Ang pagkakaalam nila ng homicide and murder is with intent and without intent, di ba? Kasi kung napansin niyo yan yung pinaka-first ko na video sa TikTok, di ba? Na hindi ganun ang pag-explain ng homicide and murder. Kaya medyo marami nang bash doon sa akin dati kasi nabigla sila lahat kasi iba yung naturo, iba yung ganito, ganyan. Tapos it turn out na marami nakapanood na lawyers and so on, lahat. Sinabi nila na tama yung explanation ko. Kaya yun, class, yan yung first na video ko sa TikTok and Facebook, di ba? Yan yung pinakauna, class, na kaya nagkaroon ako ng platform or ng page dahil dyan sa homicide and murder. Tapos sinabi ko na ganito yung homicide, ganito yung murder, hindi yung without intent and with intent. Tapos galit na galit sila sa akin, bakit iba-iba daw yung sinasabi ko. After a year, or hindi ganyan nalaman nila, ay tama pala yung sinabi ko. Mali pala yung natutunan nila for how many years, so, di ba? So, ang tanong ngayon, sige, sabihin nyo, what is murder ngayon? Okay, so again, ulitin natin. Okay, kahit old curriculum, mali pa rin yung naturo yan eh. Old and new, kung mali ang naturo, mali pa rin talaga yon. So, tandaan nyo, class, iwala nyo na sa isip ninyo, iwala nyo na sa isip ninyo yung with intent at without intent. Kasi kahit infanticide, parricide, murder, homicide, lahat yan sila may intent. Hindi mo na pwedeng sabihin mo na pinatay mo lang siya na wala lang. Meron yung intent. The intent is already presumed. So, pag sinabi nating murder, class, ito yung tandaan nyo, isaksak nyo sa ulo ninyo, sa kokote ninyo. Pag sinabi nating murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Again, ulitin ko. Pag sinabi nating murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang pagpatay, merong treachery, murder yan. Ang pagpatay in exchange of reward, inundation, calamities, evident premeditation, or cruelty, that is murder. Huwag niyo sabihin na ang murder without intent or with intent or may intensyon na patayin. Mali yun. Okay, maling-mali. Walang ganun na nakalagay sa RPC. Ginawa niya yun ng mga Illuminati, di ba? So again, pag sinabi natin murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Again, pag sinabi natin murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant or with the presence of any qualifying circumstances. Nakuha ba? That is what we call murder. Yes, yes?
Question po, sir.
Ano?
Yung
Sabi?
dun sa qualifying circumstances, sir, dun lang po ba umiikot sa tricycle, sir? Or meron pang ibang qualifying circumstances, sir?
Yun lang. Yun lang talaga, class. Ang qualifying circumstances. Siguro ang ginamit mo, yung aggravating. Tandaan nyo, class, magkaiba ang aggravating circumstances, ha? Ang aggravating circumstances, 21 yun, na nandoon sa GMA. Okay? Pero ang qualifying circumstances, doon lang talaga yan, nag-iikot sa Article 248, doon specifically sa murder. Huwag yung dagdagan, ha? Again, ulitin natin, magkaiba ang aggravating sa qualifying circumstances. Ang aggravating, ang purpose ng yun, taasan ang penalty. Ang qualifying, i-change ang nature ng crime from homicide to murder. Yun yung 6, yung trisect na naka-enumerate doon sa Article 248. Clear na ba? Clear na, clear? Clear na, class? Of course, kapag
Yes, sir.
yung tender years, Robin, that is abuse of superior strength yan papasok. So, pasok pa rin yan sa murder. Okay, nakuha na ba? Clear na, clear? Again, ulitin natin. Pag sinabi natin aggravating, it will increase the penalty sa GMA ayon. Ang qualifying naman, makikita nyo yan sa Article 248. Okay, so, clear na, class? Clear na? Para pag tulog
Yes,
nyo mamayang gabi, pag tulog nyo mamayang gabi, clear na kayo, di ba? Hindi na kayo mag-iisip, ay ganun pala yun. So, okay na ba? May question? Wala. Okay, so, halimbawa sa board exam, hindi niya ginamit yung term, sabi niya, it is the killing of person with the presence of any aggravating circumstances. Still, murder pa rin yan. Huwag mo na hanapin yung term na qualifying. Pero kapag specific talaga, class, ang aggravating, itataas ang penalty, ang qualifying, it will change the nature of the crime committed. Okay, again, ulitin natin, pag sinabi natin murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Nakuha ba? Nakuha?
Yes,
Nakuha?
sir.
Okay. Sige, halimbawa pag nagkataon, class, na hindi siya pumasok ngayon sa murder or without the attendance. Okay? Or halimbawa, hindi pumasok sa murder kasi kahit ni isa, wala doon sa pagpatay. So ano next natin na hanapin, class? Hanapin natin yung absence of
As qualifying circumstances.
qualifying circumstances. So meaning, hanapin natin ngayon kung ang crime ba is homicide. Okay. So tandaan nyo, class, dito naman tayo sa without intent, no? Pag sinabi natin homicide, class, tandaan nyo, that is the general term for killing. Okay, that is the general term for killing. Okay, ibig sabihin, lahat ng pagpatay, pinipresume yan muna na homicide term yan for killing. Or, yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na killing. Okay, so again, homicide. Okay, that is the killing of person. Okay, lakihan ko without the attendance, okay, or without the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ang pagpatay, kahit isa doon, sa trisect, walang nabanggit or walang presence. So, that's why, ang crime na nakomit niya is homicide. Again, ulitin natin. Pag sinabi natin homicide, that is the killing of person without the attendant. Ibig sabihin, wala yung treachery, wala yung reward, wala yung inundation, wala yung calamities, evident rehabilitation, cruelty, and so on. So, ang crime na nakomit niya, class, is what we call homicide. Okay? Again, ulitin natin, ang homicide, that is the general term for killing, or that is the killing of person without the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. That is what we call the absence, or that is the killing of a person without the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo, class? Nakuha
Yes.
na? Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yan lang kadali, di ba? So, ganun lang pala kadali, sir. I-screenshot nyo pala to para i-send nyo sa GC natin para yung iba makita niyo. Or makita nyo rin ang flow. Pag-i-screenshot tapos i-send nyo sa GC natin. Okay. I-summarize natin ngayon yung discussion natin. So, again, ulitin natin, class. Meron tayong formula na sinusunod dito. Huwag kayong magsabi agad-agad. Huwag kayong huwag kayong makipagbardagulan dito doon sa TikTok, sa Facebook, sa YouTube. Ang crime is murder. Ang crime is parricide. Hindi. Kasi nga, may formula kayong sinusunod dyan, class. Okay? Kaya yung mga alam yung formula doon, ay kay Cream Coach yan or kay ano to, na formula. Yan yung gamit namin sa board exam. So, kapag estudyante kita, ito yung alas mo. Tahimik ka lang, di ba? Kasi ito yung sinusundan natin, class. Tested and proven yan. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, ay, murder yan. Hindi mo pa nga alam na meron pa palang parricide na pagdadaanan. Ganun, class, ang board exam. Formula ang ano doon, di ba? So, halos lahat ng mga schools, mga review center na pinupuntahan ko, nagkakamali talaga when it comes sa parricide, homicide, murder. Kaya medyo parang, medyo nakakasad yun kasi doon pa nila malaman bukas board exam na. Lalo na kapag, di ba? So kaya ang nangyayari, back to zero talaga. Tapos ma-realize nila yun lang pala kadali, 'di ba? Clear and clear, 'di ba? Walang lusot kapag in times. Kaya ganun class, confident sila pagdating sa board exam. 'Di ba? 97 nga yung estudyante ko na isa na last board exam, siya may pinakamataas na average sa criminal law na nag-board exam sa history ng criminology. Last board exam lang So ganito yung ano nila class, ganito yung ano talaga, yung formula. Again, ulitin natin. We have the IPMH method, ARQA, mauna palagi si infanticide. So ang first natin na titingnan dyan is the age or yung time or days. Sa parricide naman, relationship. Sa murder naman, qualifying circumstance. And homicide naman, absence of qualifying circumstance. Palagi yung isulat, IPMH, ARQA. Ito yung sulat yung class. Then, unahin natin yung age. So, titingnan natin dito kung infanticide ba. So, tanan nyo sa infanticide, less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. Wala tayong pakialam kung sinong pumatay. Basta ang tinitingnan natin doon is yung time or days. Then kapag hindi pasok sa infanticide, ang next mo titingnan dyan is the relationship, kung pasok ba siya sa parricide. So kung pasok siya sa parricide, that is, tandaan nyo lang yung acronym na FMCAD. Hatiin nyo sa dalawa. When you killed your father, mother, and child, whether it is legitimate or legitimate, that is parricide. When you killed your ascendants, descendants, and spouse, dapat legitimate yan para matawag natin na parricide. So dito, nilagay na natin, nilay down na natin kung sino yung mga hindi parricide para hindi na kayo magkamali o hindi na kayo magtanong-tanong pagdating sa board exam. Ang hindi parricide, yung mga illegitimate, when you killed your illegitimate grandparent, yung lola at lolo mo na illegitimate, kasi the requirement of parricide class, dapat legitimate ascendants. Yung lolo mo dapat at lola mo, legitimate yon. When you killed your step-parent naman, your stepmom or stepdad, hindi yan parricide. Kapag you killed your uncle or your auntie, your nephew and your niece, your cousin, your brother and sister, palaging nagkakamali dito. Kasi sabi nila, parricide yan kasi relationship, that is wrong, mali yan. Kasi under sa Supreme Court, hindi yan tatawagin na parricide kasi direct line. Then, ang relationship between adopter and adoptee, may nagtanong pa doon, sir, bakit hindi pasok si adopted child? Kasi legal naman yung pag-adopt sa kanya. Ang question ngayon, meron bang illegal na adoption? Of course, wala. Parehas lang na legal. Huwag mo idagdag ang adopted kasi wala naman nakalagay doon sa parricide. Ganun ang batas natin. Study the law as is. Kung ano yung sinabi niya, yun na yun. Huwag mong dagdagan, huwag mong bawasan. At hindi ka rin pwedeng gawa-gawa or idagdagan mo doon kasi sabi niya relationship, idagdagan natin si brother and sister para matawag na parricide. That is wrong. Bawal yung ganon. Then, kapag sa Muslim, when you killed your second, third, and fourth wife, kasi isa lang yung first na makredit doon na parricide, which is your first wife. Then, in the qualifying circumstance, tanda nyo ang qualifying circumstance, it will change the nature of the crime. So, ang crime sana is homicide lang kasi nga na-presence yung qualifying circumstance, kaya naging murder. So presence yung trisect, there is a treachery or alevosía, abuse of superior strength, to weaken the defense. Ang pagpatay is in exchange of reward, money, or promise. In times of inundation, in times of calamities, evident premeditation, cruelty, and so on. Tanda nyo class, hindi lahat dapat kompleto para matawag na homicide, ay na murder. Kahit isa lang, that will constitute automatically to the crime of murder. So, tandaan nyo, class, isaksak sa pagkukote ninyo na ang murder, that is the killing of person with the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Kahit isa lang doon sa trisect na yan na nabanggit, automatic murder yan. Or with the presence of any qualifying circumstances. Pag sinabi naman natin absence of qualifying circumstance kapag hindi pasok doon sa murder. So, titingnan natin ang crime kung pasok sa homicide. Tandaan nyo, ang homicide, that is the generic term or that is the general term or the generic term for killing of a person. So meaning ang homicide, that is the killing of person without the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Again, that is without the attendant of any qualifying circumstances. Okay, clear na ba? Clear na? Clear? Okay.
Yes, coach.
Okay, so ayan. So I hope clear na. So wala nang
Yes, coach.
yan pa naman ang paborito class sa book 2. Last board exam, dyan lang talaga lumabas ang hinira nila last board exam. Ang daming question na 20 points daw ata, hindi ko alam, or 10 points sa Paris side. So kaya ganun class. So dapat na ma-master nyo yan. Okay. So hindi natin naubos lahat yung mga nakalagay sa TOS. So sa next meeting natin, tapusin natin yon. Kasi medyo nakain yung oras natin dito sa IPMH. Pero worth it naman. Di ba? Worth it naman yung ano natin, yung discussion natin dito. So kaya, ano ito? Okay. Okay. So yan yung tinatawag natin class na, okay, yan yung tinatawag natin na qualify. Na-screenshot nyo na ba? Okay. Next sa ano natin, ganyanin natin yung between yung theft and robbery, yung concubinage, bigamy. Gagawa rin ako ng ganito, yung on the spot na ano natin. Hindi na ako yung PowerPoint para mas mabilis ninyo makuha yung susundan ninyo. Mas maganda pala to, yung pasok agad, no? Okay? So parang nakikita lang tayo o nag-uusap lang tayo face to face. Okay? Sige. Ganyanin natin next na meeting natin. I-explain natin yung robbery, theft, magagawa ko ng mga senaryo doon, yung mga concubinage, adultery, and so on. Para ano ninyo, yung mga nakalagay sa TOS talaga na pinaka-importante. So ganito lang kadali, no? So di ba ang ganda tingnan? So tingnan mo lang kung ano yon. Okay, quality. Okay. Mas maganda. Nakaano tayo.
Yes, sir. Pina-explain masyado, sir. Direct the point.
Direct to the point, di ba? Kasi dati nanguhula ka pa kapag pinatay mo ang brother mo or sister mo, baka parricide to, di ba? Ngayon nandiyan na. Balik ang gagawin niyo na lang class, i-master niyo yung ano natin na, yung flow ha. Ito yung flow natin. So wag na kayong makipag-away doon. Kasi may flow talaga yan class na sinusunod para hindi kayo mawala. Ay, ito pala yan. O, di ba? So, for how many years, class, na nagle-lecture ako, sa ngayon, masaya na kasi ang mga criminology all over the Philippines, nakukuha na nila. Kapag lalong-lalo na ma-explain ko na sa kanila, ay, ganun lang pala kadali. Di ba? Kasi yung sa ano daw, pasikot-sikot, hindi talaga nila alam kung ano yung ganito, ganyan. After ng ganito, ay, ganun lang pala. So, kaya nakikita talaga ng progress class. Yung iba, yung tawag nito, nagtatatap talaga lalo na sa criminal law. Kasi nga, master na nila. Ganito yung sinusunod nila class. Kaya 'di ba? So dapat kayo rin na master niyo na dapat to kahit anong tanong dito, hindi niyo to maano. Yes, mahirap talaga mag-memorize kahit maraming elements. So kaya dapat isa-isahin talaga. Okay, so nakaano na to. Ito yung formula na sundan niyo palagi kasi then again, do not add facts. Okay, again, do not assume unless it is stated. Palagi yung sinasabi sa inyo kung ano yung tinatanong niya, sagutin niyo na agad. Okay? Huwag ka magdadagdag ng facts. Sorry, na hindi naman doon nakalagay sa tanong. Okay? So, yun, guys. So, balikan nyo to mamaya or bukas ng umaga, ulitin nyo to. Then, kasi ako, may lecture kasi ako. Then, mag-update ako. Pero, ano lang, one day ata or after doon, mag-lecture tayo ulit. Pero bukas, wala ako kasi biyahe ako eh. Kaya nag-lecture ako ngayong gabi. Okay nga, sir. Okay. Sagutin dapat agad. Huwag na magsabi, ay, lola niya, baka lola niya to or baka lolo niya to. Di ba? Kapag, diretso na agad. Sagutin niyo na agad kasi sayang sa oras at sayang rin ang binayad ninyo sa board exam para sa board exam. Okay? Sige. So, thank you everyone for joining the class. Yung ano pala class, yung mga review materials na ibibigay ko, patapos na siya kasi may ina-update namin with my Cream Coach family. Susundan nyo yung class, maganda yung review materials na ginawa namin. Nakaano na siya. So, mga ano na lang. After 2 days siguro, mabigay ko na sa inyo. So, halos lahat ng ano doon. Para madali lang yung pag-ano na yun. Kung yung style na ano natin, ibibigay natin sa inyo. Okay, pero ayan, sige. Thank you everyone for joining kasi kailangan natin ng bagong mga ano. Pero yung mga naghihingi ng TOS marami kasing naghihingi ng i-stop share ko muna. Marami kasi naghihingi ng TOS